Welcome to week 20 of the Mama Stay Fit Pregnancy Week by Week update. We're going to share what you can expect is going on with your baby during week 20, what might be going on with you, and then also how am I feeling during my week 20 of my pregnancy as I'm pregnant with baby number 4. So Roxanne, what can you expect with baby during week 20?
So generally during week 20, baby is the size of a troll doll with or without the hair extended. I'm not sure which one, but the fruit, if like the fruit and vegetable resonates with you more, is a banana. I feel like a troll doll is slightly smaller than a banana.
Maybe it's a full-size troll doll.
Yeah, maybe it's not like the babies that I'm thinking of. It's like the normal ones that I did not have a lot
I don't
of.
think they sell those anymore.
They do not. All of the toys that I've listed, I do not think they sell at all.
Well, they're probably targeting the millennials,
which are the ones having new babies. Yeah. So it's like things that we know, but like maybe not everybody knows. But during week 20, so the senses again are usually about fully developed at this point. With taste, some people are like, what do you mean my baby can taste things in the womb? And this is supported by research that we don't know if it actually, they're tasting like the little bits of food within the amniotic fluid, that like there's the taste in that and that's them developing their taste, or if it's something else going on. But research has shown like whatever you eat during your pregnancy and you like and eat a lot, babies seem to like those types of food as they get older. So like with my second, I ate Korean barbecue literally every day. I feel like at least once a week we went and ate Korean barbecue.
We did.
And what he does really like it when we go to Korean barbecue. He doesn't eat anything else except when we go to Korean barbecue, he'll eat the meat.
Well, we should go on Tuesday because now I want Korean barbecue.
Yeah. I was a bottomless pit of just Korean barbecue. So maybe that's one person, but there's other research that supports it. Now that the senses have finished developing, now the brain is like rapidly expanding and growing as well. And like cells, lots of things happening with the brain, which their head is still significantly larger than the rest of their body. So it makes sense. It's just getting bigger.
Good.
And baby is making poop. And that meconium is made up of the amniotic fluid that they're swallowing, other dead cells that they're swallowing, as well as substances that are within that GI system. That's what's making up the meconium. And it's like that thick, tar, like kind of hard to wipe poop. And it just sits within their bowels until usually after birth. So baby is not like actively pooping within the womb, but it's like making the poop that's filling their bowels, which is kind of cool. So like they're eating stuff and making poop just like we do. Baby is going to be continuing to move more and more each week. So you might be feeling a little bit more jabs. I think they say on average, like you might feel like 4 or 8 movements every once in a while now at week 20. But it may be different for everybody depending on like where your placenta is located as well as how big your baby is at this point. But you might have been feeling some hiccups as well, which is a totally normal thing that babies will have while they're in the womb. They're this rhythmic like movement that you might feel. It's like very
distinct. I felt it today for the first time this pregnancy, but it's like a boop, a boop, a boop, a boop. But it's just kind of this like
consistent rhythmic beating.
Yeah.
Versus like movement is very sporadic and kind of random type of movements. Some people will be concerned if their baby's hiccuping a lot in the womb, but it's just kind of how they develop, and some babies hiccup more than others. I think my babies were like hiccuping at least once an hour. It got more excessive as they got closer to term. And then the last thing is, if you haven't yet got your anatomy scan during your pregnancy yet, during this week is a very common time because it's like week 20. A lot of people kind of go at those even weeks. Week 20 is the most common time to get that anatomy scan done if you haven't yet got it. And this is where they're looking at all of the structures of the baby, like the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the brain, as well as assessing baby's growth and then seeing the sex, if you want to know that. That's really it that's happening with baby. So for you, and what happening with you, this is just generally what most people at 20 weeks is feeling. Everyone is different. The list of things that you could be experiencing at 20 weeks is probably like a mile long, but generally most people feel these types of things. Number 1, constipation, due to the lovely hormones, as well as like maybe not moving your body as well anymore. So it's not moving the bowels to get the
poop running through. This is where hydration is really important.
Hydration, but that's the other thing is some of us are not drinking enough water and electrolytes.
So I have been helping with not having constipation by hydrating a lot. And the way that I've been hydrating a little bit more than normal is by drinking Element, which is like an electrolyte salt. I drink like 2 or 3 a day, which maybe is excessive. I don't know. It tastes delicious, but it tastes so good. And so it makes me drink more water, which is what's helping which is key with the hydration, with constipation. I've also been exercising, which I think also helps. So the combo of the two, money. And so if you want to check out my favorite hydration salt, you can go to Drink Element, so lmnt.com/mamastay, and you can get a free sample pack with any purchase. I personally love the Insider Bundle because you get 4 flavors. Because it kind of lets me choose. I currently like watermelon and raspberry, occasionally orange is kind of something I'm into. Grapefruit is pretty good too. So
love grapefruit.
Those are the 4 that I would select for my Insider Bundle. And then you buy 3, you get 1 free, which is like a really good deal. And I love Element so much. But if you get it and then you're like, Gina lied to me and this is disgusting, they'll just give you a refund. So
yeah,
it's risk-free.
Risk-free.
And also
basically,
you can poop normal.
Risk-free hydration because it has that magnesium, so it helps keep things going. But you know what else it helps with that you could be experiencing in week 20? Headaches. Headaches are also very common during pregnancy due to that hormonal change, but also due to like that electrolyte imbalance because we do have a higher demand of fluids and electrolytes that we need during pregnancy. But also, some of us can develop blood pressure issues during pregnancy. So the difference between a headache that is due to just not drinking enough water and maybe just pregnancy, so hormonal changes, is if you do either drink some electrolytes, drink some water, or even take Tylenol and that headache goes away, that is a different headache than one associated with blood pressure issues. So increased blood pressure could lead to something called preeclampsia. So preeclampsia is elevated blood pressures that are starting to affect our end organ function. So these are our kidneys and our liver, and these are very vital organs that are important for our bodies. But if it is starting to affect their function, this could lead to complications for us, like long term. So we want to ensure that our organs are functioning properly and our blood pressure is low, and we're being monitored if it is starting to creep up for that preeclampsia. Preeclampsia can necessitate like earlier delivery or closer monitoring throughout your pregnancy. So if you start to develop a headache, this could be due to, again, that end organ function starting to diminish and affecting our bodies. So if you start noticing that you have the headache or the right upper quadrant pain or changes in your vision, these are all signs of like end organ function being involved in that elevated blood pressure and being monitored and potentially going into the hospital sooner rather than later could be beneficial. So just to recap, the headaches that are resolved with Tylenol or drinking water could just be pregnancy, hormones, you're dehydrated. If it does not go away when you drink water and take Tylenol, that would be a reason to call your provider because it could be something called preeclampsia. Other things that are happening though in the 20-week pregnancy, aside from that, is you might notice that your hair is beautiful and luscious now and like voluminous if it wasn't voluminous before and like shiny. I think that was the thing I noticed the most was my hair was really shiny and your nails are like the strongest they've ever been just because of the lovely hormones within your body. So one nice thing, beautiful hair, beautiful nails, as well as itchy skin. Not a great thing.
I have had a lot of itchy skin.
Itchy skin is because one, our skin moisture is from the amount of water we drink, and your water demands are a lot higher. So you need to drink more water. Number 2, it's from the stretching of our body. We might not notice that our like arms are getting a little like bigger, I guess, for lack of a better word, but like the skin is stretching a little bit as well as our belly. So I would itch on my belly the most. And it's like as your skin and belly is expanding, that stretching of the skin could cause it to itch. So belly balms could be really helpful.
I really love Primarily Pure's body butter, and I just slather that all over my belly and like my sides and stuff too. Like when I wake up, I put it on, and then after I get out of the shower in the evening.
And do you have itching there?
No, I slather that thing on.
One person study.
It's my favorite. The body oil or body butter has some oil in it too, so it kind of like glides on really nice. It's my favorite belly balm currently.
You can use Mama Stay Fit for 10% off, I think, on Primarily Pure. Get yourself some belly balm to decrease your itching.
I used about 2 during my pregnancy, like the 8-ounce.
So they last. They
8-ounce
last a pretty.
jars. I use just around 2 the whole time. So if you're 20 weeks, just grab 1 jar and it'll be good enough for you.
Oh yeah, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Other things you might be experiencing are lower back pain, the start of pelvic girdle pain it's likely due to the postural changes that you're experiencing because your expanding belly is causing you to go into different postures. But lower back pain is also very common around 20 weeks. So something that you could do is obviously our fitness program to help decrease your pelvic girdle pain, to strengthen your body to remain pain-free, because pain is not a requirement during your pregnancy. But also a really nice thing to implement is a belly band. So we really liked Bow-Bay's Pro Bump bands during our pregnancy. I started using it a little bit earlier because my belly's just popped very quickly.
I used it this week when I went for a walk because I've been going for a lot of walks lately, and I like putting the belly band on to help just provide a little bit of support, which helps me just I feel like there's so much more supported.
Yeah. Belly bands can be really helpful if you're having lower back pain or pelvic girdle pain to kind of just help support you until you can kind of relieve it with physical therapy and movements. But how are you feeling?
I feel like my belly popped this week. Like I am pregnant. I cannot forget now.
It's not a burrito.
It's not too many donuts or burrito anymore. It's like a baby. I can also feel her when I put my hand on my belly now.
Like feel her like body?
Like no, like her moving.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I might be feeling her body too, but I feel like her kicking and stuff.
One thing I forgot, at week 20, they can start doing your fundal heights at your appointments. So they start to measure from your belly button because your fundus is at your belly button.
When I lay flat on my back, there's just like a bulge right like from my belly button down to my pubic bone, which I think that's my uterus.
That's your uterus, because now at week 20, they begin to do fundal height assessments at your prenatal appointments. So that is from the top of your pubic bone to your belly button should be the number of centimeters should match your week of pregnancy, like give or take a little bit. So you would be 20 centimeters, which I almost said inches, but it is centimeters.
That would be a lot.
Definitely not going to be 20 inches.
Yeah.
That would be
what do they say? Americans will literally measure anything in like anything other than the metric system.
Yeah, but it's centimeters. From the pubic bone to your belly button and laying down, obviously laying down.
But it's not always
20.
to the belly button. It's just to wherever the top of the uterus is. But at this point, it would be around my belly button.
Yeah, it's the top of the uterus. Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.
But right now, it's your belly button.
Yeah. So when I lay flat on my back, that's where I notice like this little bump is like right where I'm like, oh, that's my baby. Yeah. And my uterus right there. It is no longer a burrito.
Which just goes to tell you, like, when you have a belly, it's not just your baby. It's also your organs.
Yeah, I'm like, all up here is just organs.
Yeah.
Internal organs.
Squished
down
slowly.
here, baby. But yeah, I could feel her moving and stuff and like kicking against my hand. Like Adeline, my oldest, felt her like kick her for the first time, which was like really sweet. Now that my belly is more pronounced, even Sophie, my youngest, is like kind of like hugging and like kissing my belly. I don't think she has any idea what's coming.
She just probably sees everyone else do it, and she's like, me too.
I want to love on this belly too.
Me too.
So the kids are all getting more excited. Because my belly has popped, I have also felt like my balance has shifted and I almost feel like a little unstable. Don't have any pelvic girdle pain or like back pain right now. But I just feel like a little off with like my balance right now because things have really shifted. And so I'm really focusing on ensuring that I'm still strengthening my backside to kind of help counter that shift in balance, still incorporating all the pelvic stability exercises to alleviate any pelvic pain, because I would really like to go the whole pregnancy and not have any. That would be great.
I know, goals.
I would love that. Anytime I have any sort of like tweaks here and there, I just do a bunch of movements to kind of resolve it, and then I don't have any pain, which
it
I'm
goes
like,
away. Magic.
I'm just going to keep doing that. Other things that I've started incorporating a little bit more at this week of pregnancy, now that I'm 20 weeks, is also our birth preparation circuit. So I've been doing that daily, even the days that I don't work out. It involves an inversion, which helps to release tension in the uterine ligaments to help support baby's position and also for my own comfort. I usually feel like a lot of stretching in my round ligaments where I'm having like more tension right now. I have also in the circuit where there's also a back expansion exercise with lat release and hip flexor to help me find a more rounded position, which is really important because right now I'm like living here because it's just more comfortable there. So I'm making sure that I'm finding those more rounded positions. And then it also incorporates hip shifted exercise with an all fours hip shift with pelvic tilt and then a supported standing hip shift because both of those help to release tension in my pelvic floor, increase my hip mobility and my pelvic mobility to also help with pelvic stability, pelvic floor release, and then also creating space within my pelvis. So I'm doing all 6 of those exercises daily. It takes me like 5 minutes to do. I do before all my workouts starting this week. And again, there's a link for the freebie down in the notes below where it's like a PDF guide that has pictures, written descriptions, and also videos to help kind of walk you through each of the movements. But there are movements that we developed during my last pregnancy. I think it was like my last pregnancy, based on what we understood to be common postural tendencies that we have during pregnancy. So a lot of us tend to favor extension, so arching in our back, and then also external rotation, so like toes more pointed outwards. And because of this like position, it causes like common areas of tension, which can contribute towards that discomfort during pregnancy, in addition to make it a little bit harder to create more space within our pelvis. And so our birth prep circus targets releasing these common areas of tension so you can be more comfortable and then also prepare for birth. I've also noticed more like jaw tension this week because I think I've maybe been stressed or I've just been
I have no idea why you would be stressed.
I don't know why I would be stressed either. I'm never stressed.
Your stress-free life.
So I did go and get a CST massage, which is cranial sacral therapy. And that I fell asleep in it, so I don't know how good it was.
Oh my God. I hate when I fall asleep during the massage and you don't get to enjoy the relaxation. But also, you were able to fall asleep.
So she said because I fell asleep, she was able to do a lot of release. So I was even almost having like chest pain up here from like the cranial sacral tension. And so she was like, once you fall asleep, I was like able to like really release. And then after I woke up from my massage, I had no pain here. And I was like, well, I guess that's okay. I also got a face massage from an esthetician who's also a licensed massage therapist to like really just dig in to here. So I've been incorporating a lot of like manual massage therapy work this pregnancy to help release tension in addition to like the workouts that I've been doing. Also seeing chiropractic care like not once a week, once a month at this point.
I also saw the chiropractor today.
Just to help me feel better in my body. So lots of support from my team. I always like really up the self-care during pregnancy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm growing a person, so
you need it.
I need it. Other than that, feeling pretty good still. Hopefully I can keep saying that for the next however many weeks. Maybe I'm halfway through my pregnancy. Maybe I am almost halfway. We'll see when we get to the end. I'm planning to go to like 41 weeks like mentally. And when it's earlier than that, I'll just be pleasantly surprised. I did have a dream that I went into labor like earlier than normal, like in the 38s or 39s. And I was like straight panicking.
We
I was like,
will
I'm
not be
ready.
prepared.
I'm not ready. And I woke up and was panicked. And I was like, I'm only 20 weeks pregnant. It's okay. I'm not in labor. But I was like, no, I had so many things that I was still trying to do. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So hopefully you are also feeling great during week 20 of your pregnancy. Let us know how you are feeling in the comments below. And then if you have any other tips and tricks for folks during this week of pregnancy, especially because a lot of us start feeling a little bit more uncomfortable in our bodies as things are really starting to shift. So if you have any tips and tricks, be sure to let others know in the comments below. And we would love to continue to support you during your pregnancy, even beyond these YouTube videos. And so if you want more support from us, check out our online prenatal fitness programs, childbirth education course, and pellet for prep for birth course, where we teach you how to move your body confidently throughout your pregnancy with daily workouts. We'll also help you to prepare for birth by learning what your options are, learning what to expect, learning the whole science of birth so that you can feel confident in your labor as well. If you're postpartum and you're like, I just like watching pregnancy week by week update videos, we also have our postpartum fitness programs to help you return to fitness and our postpartum prep course so that you can know what to expect in the early postpartum. Plus, our early postpartum course comes with infant CPR, infant massage, infant choking, so some extra things to help you navigate the postpartum period because it can be really scary when you have this little baby and you're like, what do I do with it? So we teach you how or what to do with our postpartum courses.
And if you're a professional, we offer a birth worker and a prenatal postpartum fitness trainer course, so you can learn more from us while earning continuing education courses. And you can check out all of our courses online at mamastayfit.com, and you can use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of them.